welcome to ThinkTech. We are raising public awareness about technology, energy, diversity, and globalism. This show is Center Stage. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, a very proud managing director of Kuma Kahua Theatre. We're coming to you live from our studio in Pioneer Plaza in downtown Honolulu, very near Kuma Kahua Theatre. I'm elated to tell you that my guest today is one of the producers of a Dark Night production at Kuma Kahua Theatre, which is a new play festival, and we're going to dig into the nitty-gritty of that. I'll tell you all about it. First, I want to let you know that we broadcast all of our shows live on the internet from noon to 5 every day on ThinkTechHawaii.com, and we stream on Ustream.tv and Spreaker.com. Now, let's get to our guest. Her name is Jasmin, please. And yes, that's her real name. Jasmin, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited. I'm excited to have the conversation with you and hear about the new play festival. And it's at my theater, at Kuma Kahua Theatre, but I don't really know that much about it other than what's in the press releases, because the Dark Nights are something. It's a way for us to offer our space to other organizations. And I don't know if you know about the history of Kuma Kahua Theatre, but we used to be homeless, and we're looking for other organizations to share their space. So our board of directors decided very early on that they wanted to make sure that when we have those dark nights at the theater, when we don't have a show running but we are set up for a show, that we do everything we can to share the space with other more burgeoning groups. So I'm really glad. And what you're doing, a new play festival, is very much at the heart of everything that is Kuma Kahua Theatre. So let's talk a little bit about the festival itself.
Yeah.
Do I just say go? Are you ready if I do that?
Let's try.
Okay, go.
Well, I can start with saying that I could not believe it when I emailed you and Harry, and how positive you were to me. I called it a black night, I think, because I wasn't sure. I didn't know, like, I was new in town. A friend of mine had mentioned it ages ago, and I was like, was it black night? And I emailed you guys, and she said, it's dark night. You said it in a very nice way, and then how quickly you said that it was possible and how easy it was for us to get that deal with you guys. And we were homeless, like you said. We totally had nowhere, like, how are we going to do this? And having the space is the foundation of everything. And that's when we could start, okay, we have something. We have a space, let's start. Because we had ideas, but there was nowhere we could do anything if we didn't have a place to do it. And now we're going to be at your theater, and we're so excited about it.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's the first thing.
That's the first thing. Okay, so it's coming up next week, Sunday,
Yes.
Monday, and Tuesday night, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And so tell us what's going to happen Sunday night at 6:30 at Kuma Kahua Theatre.
Okay, so the doors open at 6 o'clock, and we have a relatively complicated ticket system, I guess. But we wanted, because we realized that we're showcasing 9 different plays each evening, and that will, equate to a very long evening of plays. But it's that's why we have 2 intermissions, and we sort of put it up in 3 sections so that people. So we there's 9 different plays, and we put it in 3 different sections with 2 intermissions, and so that guests can come to any section that they want, and they can split it up into 3 days if they want to. So see, if they can't see all the 3 sections in one day, they can see 1 section each day, or 2 sections in one day, and then so this sounds very complicated, but basically the guests will come and will stamp their tickets for the first section. They'll see the first plays, and then there's the intermission, and then they can choose to go and have dinner, or go home and come the next day, or stay for the next 2 sections. It's their choice. Yeah. But they get 3 opportunities to use their tickets. Yes.
Which is a nice way to do it, and it is a longer evening.
Yeah.
It's going to run 6:30 until about
9:30.
9:30. That's not too long.
It's not that long, but that's the thing about, like, if it's a festival, and the spirit of a festival is that you can come and go and you can pick and choose what you want to see, and we want it to be like that. So giving you the opportunity to see it all in one day or in 3 days is up to you, because we realize for some people it's a long night. For other people, for me personally, I would be fine watching all those plays in one day. Yeah. But it's just a fun option that we're offering.
That's cool. And I love it that when I ask you what's going on, because you're an artist who's working in administration for this, which
Yes.
is where I find myself all the time. So rather than jump into the art, you got into logistics.
Yeah, that's where I'm struggling.
I know, because that's where your focus is right now, and
Yeah.
that's cool. I think 3 hours of new plays, and there's a total of 9
There's 9.
plays altogether. That's so exciting that in 3 hours you get to absorb.
I think so too, and they're
9
very
new plays.
different. Though it won't be, you know, a long, monotonous, like draggy thing. It's gonna be all these different journeys and, you know, all these different stories. And I think, you know, you watch movies that are really, really long, and you sit in the cinema. You don't go, oh, I gotta go home. You know, you watch it through, and I'm hoping that they'll stay and that they'll like all the different sections. But yeah.
Yeah. You know what I think about this is even if you don't like 1 or 2 of those plays, and it's possible, they're all new, they're in development. You're there witnessing, you know, one of the earlier stages of a new play that's coming out, and and that's very, very cool. And a lot of these plays may have several more iterations coming out, and people who come to see this will be able to say, yeah, well, I saw the first one.
Yeah.
You know, and see part of that development, perhaps, which is very cool. And usually you don't get to see these shorter plays.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's what one of the things we're hoping for too, is that possibly somebody comes and sees it and goes, you know what, I would like to produce this as a full-length play, or I'd like to give this a whole run for itself, or explore this subject further. Because some of the writers are quite ambitious and they want to, you know, do more plays, and hopefully some of them are established, some of them are less established, but it's still hopefully a good springboard for them to, you know, showcase their work and create some interest.
Yeah. Are you doing any sort of request for feedback after the plays?
Do you mean like a Q&A sort of thing, or?
Well, Q&A or just a Q. I mean, you know, just asking people via survey or something afterwards.
That's a good idea. I think we want to hear that. We haven't organized such a
I can help
thing.
you with that.
But yeah, you could help me with that. That would be cool. Because yeah, it's like it isn't a work in progress because they're ready, but still it is new writing, like you said, and yeah, so it would be really helpful and interesting to get that from an audience.
I mean, I'm from the Chicago market, and a lot of plays open there before they go to Broadway,
Yeah,
and they may change.
Workshop it so much.
I saw the Addams Family there with Nathan Lane and Bebe Neuwirth, and when it went to, and it was a long night of theater, even with those 2 people I love, and it went to New York, it was a completely different show. So if you know, if shows of that magnitude can do it.
Yeah, that's how it works in London as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's exciting. That's exciting. That's exciting to be able to add to it, to be a part of that process. I think.
Yeah.
And we should mention that we're going to have beer and wine there.
Yes.
On those intermissions. So
I think people will appreciate that.
Yeah, that makes it a nice evening.
Yeah.
And we're right in Chinatown, where there are all sorts of places to go for dinner.
Absolutely.
So when you got the so you said, okay, we're going to have a new play. We want to have a new play festival. We want to do it at Kuma Kahua Theatre. We said, yes, we'd love to make that happen. And then you solicited plays, or had you done it beforehand?
No, we hadn't. I mean, we had some of our own stuff that we wanted to put on, but we already had the idea of opening it up to other people. And when we had that sort of solidified over email, we hadn't even like signed the contract, but it was, you know, you guys said definitely yes. And that's when we started requesting submissions.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they had
not very long.
1 month to turn it around. Do you think most of the people had, they already had a play started, they had something ready to submit? Or will you tell me, did some of the playwrights just say, oh, I'm going to write something now?
I think most of them had something in the works. And it was just great to see the excitement they had about it. Oh, I have something that I'd love to put on, you know, and giving them the opportunity to do that, and them sort of polishing it or finishing it up for the submission deadline. And I wrote a new piece for it specifically, and some of them did write. Some of them submitted something, and I thought, no, actually, I want to write something else. And so it was a mixed pot, but most of them had something that they wanted to put on already.
Oh, okay. And that's great. Sometimes what artists need is that sort of impetus to make them finish and polish.
A little push.
And, maybe do something new. And you were just part of the New Play Festival a few weeks ago.
The 1 Minute Play.
The 1 Minute Play Festival.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just touched you like
that's
a
cool.
which was, 1-minute plays, and each of those playwrights wrote 2 of them, I think. Did
Yeah.
you directed? You didn't
I
write
directed,
one of
yeah.
the pieces in it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the playwrights that I talked to who were a part of that said that it was really a nice ignition for them.
Right.
It really ignited their creative process to do that.
Yeah, I think, yes. I had a friend who wrote for it, and she sort of waited until, she's one of those people that sort of wait until they have to do it. So they had a certain amount of time to do it, and then towards the end, she was like, oh God, I have to write it now. And I think the ideas had accumulated for a while, and then she, wrote it out in last minute and sent it over. So yeah.
That's the way a lot of artists work.
Exactly.
That's how they tap into their highest creative energy is, some people call it procrastination, but I mean, by definition it is, but there's very good reason about it, because that's when they're at their hottest.
Yeah.
When you wait till that last minute. It's a little scary as a producer to do that. But we need to go to our first break.
Sure.
Here, so we'll come back, see how quickly that went. We'll come back in just a few moments, and we're going to continue talking about the new play festival, which is part of the Dark Night series at Kuma Kahua Theatre here in downtown Chicago. You're watching Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii Digital Series, and we will be right back.
To Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy on Wednesday, and we have Sharon Moriwaki, my co-host and co-chair of the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, and we have Warren Bollmeyer today, a special guest with the Hawaii Renewable Energy Alliance, and also a member of the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum.
In fact, he's our Renewable Energy Working Group Chair, so he takes care of all of our...
You ought to see him in song and dance, too. He does the musical part of the show. Sharon is more serious than that, but not much more serious. So anyway, what do you think of this show? I mean, is this good?
I think this is good. We hope it's good. We hope it attracts a lot more people than our forum, so that people can see what's going on in energy and clean energy, and call in, write in, tweet
we
or
want
Twitter.
that. We want public engagement, civic engagement from everybody, because that's the only way we're going to get down the road on this, right, Warren?
Yeah, I think so, and it's an opportunity for guys like me to share a little bit of their mana'o and sometimes get the facts right. Who was that guy that said, just give me the facts, start with the facts and then work from there? Oh, it was Dragnet guy, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Jack,
That was what I was
That
just
man.
in grade
all
school then. I
remember that.
barely
I was
remember
like,
that.
yeah.
just the facts,
Just a
man.
man.
Here on Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday from 4 to 5. You'll see. Come back soon. Right, Sharon?
Great.
Warren?
Yes.
Hi, we're back on Center Stage, and it's just been drawn to my attention that I said just a moment ago that we are in Chicago, and we're not. We're in downtown Honolulu. There's like only so much distance between my mouth and my ears, and I didn't even hear it myself, but sorry about that. And we had the incorrect graphic up, which was probably my mistake as well. We are talking about the new play festival, not the 1-minute play festival. That was exposition. Okay, we are back talking with Jasmin, please, who's one of the producers, along with Alan Shepard and Isaac Ligsey.
Yes.
Ligsey. Okay, I should mention them, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today because they are also pirates.
They are pirates, full-time pirates at the Hawaii Pirate Adventures. That's right.
So that's a good reason. I've never had anyone have a reason like that for not being on my show. So because we had to go be pirates.
Yes.
Kind of cool.
Yep. It's the life of a pirate is unpredictable, and today was one of those days where we had planned something and then it didn't happen, because that's the life of a pirate. So yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool, and I totally want to go on that boat.
You should.
You had a fundraiser on that boat. That's
yes,
very
it was
cool.
so cool. Yeah. And we had people that are not sort of theater goers or that don't go to fundraisers, and they had a blast. It was really fun. And we had Improv HI.
Oh, Improv HI.
Yeah, Improv HI.
Kimmy's.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, and they were just so fantastic. They just blew everything up, because they started out doing improv scenes, and they just made everyone crack up, and it broke the ice instantly, and it was just such a good night from then on.
Oh, how awesome.
Yeah, they raised us quite a lot of money. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you put the call out for these plays. Did you give people a time limit? Your play needs to be performed within what?
Yes, it was 10, 15 minutes, or no, 15 to 20 minutes, and we had some sort of basic rules about you can use sort of 3 chairs, a table, and a few like blocks, and a few characters, as in like 2 to 4 characters, and very basic lighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you, are all of the plays that were submitted in the festival?
No.
Was there some sort of judgment for that?
Yeah. Some of them didn't go within the criteria, and some of them were written a little bit too much like a screenplay, so a little bit too ambitious for the festival, and some didn't meet sort of the standards that we got from the other plays.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. That's cool. You had more submissions than you could put in.
Yes. Yeah.
For your first year especially?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, we're all about new plays. You have to keep that pipeline filled at all times.
Yeah.
So how fabulous that you had. I mean, did you know most of the people who submitted?
No, I didn't actually.
How did
which
you
is
find
also
out about
cool.
it?
Facebook and Craigslist, I think, and also Meetup, that website. I put it on their writing groups and things like that. So a few people showed up from there because we had a playwriting workshop with Annie Cusick-Wood. She was one of the hosts with us, and we did a few exercises. We had 2 hours of sort of writing and exercising and talking, so it was really fun. And a fair few people that came to their workshop submitted. So
Okay, cool.
I think that attracted interest as well.
Was there any sort of criteria given for the content of the plays? Like we talked about the 1 Minute Play Festival, they needed to be plays that spoke to life here in some way. Did you have anything like that?
No, I feel like we all agree that there's too much of that. Often it helps the writer to have some sort of frame around their ideas, but we wanted it to be like anything you want to write about. And it doesn't have to be based here or anywhere. It could be in the past and the future, in any country or in a parallel universe, whatever. So we wanted it to be open.
Did you notice any themes within the 9 plays that there are? Are there any themes?
There is some. There is sort of the atmosphere within a workplace, and there is sort of identity and a lot of relationships. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Good play stuff
Yeah.
to have in there.
And relevant always.
And the plays so the plays were submitted, you selected the 9 that are going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Did you request any changes? Were there any tweaks to be made within those, or you just said checkbox, go?
Yeah, we kind of left that to the directors.
Okay.
You know, the playwriters are aware that you hand it to someone else and they sort of take the control from there. The playwriters are, of course, invited and allowed to come and give their thoughts on it. But the directors are more in control now that they have it in their hands with their actors to work on it and cut things that drag it out too much. But yeah.
Oh, so the directors were given license to cut in the script?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the writers know that up front, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's important that the directors get to have that power, as long as they make sure that the story is told as well as it deserves to be. You know.
How were the directors selected?
We called out for directors and we didn't get any applications. So we contacted people that we knew that were solid directors and asked if they would want to do it. And they hadn't heard about they hadn't seen the calling out thing, the article or whatever. And so yeah, we were thinking that maybe not enough people saw that, but at least we got these people who were willing to do it and got quite excited about it when we explained the project.
Oh,
so
good.
These were people that the guys knew from before, and we met during the auditions and talked about things and sort of finalized it then.
Okay, so did you pair the directors with the scripts, or did they read them and say, I want this one?
Isaac had an idea because he knew these directors quite well, and he sort of sent them the script that we thought that they could do, and asked, are you keen to do this? We actually had one director and the play that we cut because he didn't want to do it, and we just didn't have anyone to do it because I'm already directing 4, and we're all quite busy, so But yeah, the other guys, the other directors, they were more than willing to do the plays that they got
Oh,
sent.
okay.
They really liked it, and it was a match made in heaven or whatever.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then did you have one group audition for all of them and they had to fight over the actors they wanted? I don't know why that sounds yummy to me.
Yes, they did have to fight. No, yeah, we just had we had an audition, and sort of the same idea as in 1 Minute Play Festival, that, you know, you can use this core cast in any of the plays, and the actors were aware of it, but that's not how it happened. They got cast in their separate plays, and I think it's only one play that is sharing an actor. No,
Oh.
2 plays that are sharing an actor.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
working out fine.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
So how many, do you know offhand how many actors altogether are involved?
I would say maybe 20, around 20.
Oh, that's a lot of actors.
Yep.
How many directors? You're directing 4 yourself, so
yeah,
you've got a smaller
me.
number.
6, I think. 6
Oh.
directors, 6 or 7.
6 or 7
Yeah.
for 9 plays. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm directing 4, and Alan's directing his play, Vantage Point. Jan McGrath is directing her play, Tumbling Down. Donut is directing The Bunker by Ian Chong, and Alex is directing My Park.
Donut, let's say last names. Donna,
Oh, Donut.
Donut.
Donato, Michael, no.
I don't know.
Oh, we just call him Donut.
Okay, so
That's his name,
he probably
Donut.
doesn't need a last name if he goes by.
No, everybody knows him as Donut. He's pretty known out there.
Okay.
He's a really super talented guy.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then you mentioned another director,
Alex Monroe,
Alex Monroe.
and Jan McGrath, and Jasmin Fernandez is doing her own one-woman show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. How would you say the mix falls in terms of comedy, drama, tragedy, thriller? What are we going to get in that evening?
I think you'd get a little bit of everything. Perhaps even some horror, a little bit, but not, yeah. So yeah, it's a good mix, and we've placed the plays in a good order so that it's kind of like a roller coaster. You go up and down in emotion and laughter and all sorts of things. So yeah, you can expect a journey within the journey.
Well, yeah, was the pairing, so I'm assuming that you and Alan and Isaac sat down and said, okay, we've got these 9 plays, here's how we're going to group them. Was there a lot of thought that went into, the order and grouping?
Yeah, the order is vital when it's such a long evening, and actually the decision of showcasing each play each night was a decision we had during a production meeting with the directors, who thought it would be a good idea to do it like that. And so we had to sit down and think about the best way to put them together, in what order to make it it's vital to have a good dynamic with that when it's such a long
You
evening.
need-
Yeah,
you need
so
that
it's got to
flow.
be an up and down. So there's comedy in there, and there's, serious plays and thrillers and drama and all sorts of stuff.
You know what, I love all types of theater, but there's something about a horror in a theater. The
Yeah.
first one I saw was, and this is how old I am, I saw Death Trap on Broadway with Christopher Reeve.
Really?
Superman. Yeah, that's cool. And I sat in the theater, and the first time, I was in high school, it was the first time in my life that I realized one of the greatest differences between theater and movies
Yeah.
really came to me, in that when you are sitting in a theater, you are in the atmosphere
Yeah.
of it. Something can come up behind you.
Yeah, I was
Or,
just thinking
you know,
that you're physically there, so it's,
it is more threatening. You know,
Mhm.
you go in with the assumption that theater, it's a safe environment. You know, you pay for your ticket, you sit down, you're going to leave the same way you came in, maybe a little emotionally
yeah.
distraught. But it was wonderfully terrifying
Yeah.
to realize in that moment that,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
think
glad we have a horror in there.
it's more like, I don't think it's horror as you know it, like a usual horror. I think it's more the scene will be sort of horrifying, and psychologically it'll be a bit like scary because you don't really know what's going to happen. Not like a boo scary thing, but a psychological
Yeah,
scariness.
well, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's what it's going to be like.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
We are coming up on our second break, so rather than get into another subject, we're going to break here. All right, Siri? Thanks. Okay, we're going to go to our second break now. We'll be right back in just a moment. We're going to talk more about the new play festival at Kuma Kahua Theatre.
Hi, aloha. My name is Chris Leatham, and I host a show called The Economy and You. The show plays every Wednesday at noon, and on my show, I bring on guests who are interested or working in the technology space. And so I'd like you to come and watch the show and learn with me about all the sort of exciting things that we're doing in Hawaii to build and grow our economy ecosystem. So I'd like to say aloha, and I look forward to seeing you on the show. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jay Fidel. That's Ted Ralston. You know, Ted is the host of Where the Road Leads. It shows every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. It's about technology. It's about how people collaborating and solve problems with modern technology. It's where the road leads. We all know that. We should all be listening. Join us there, 4 to 5 p.m. every Friday. Now, what about that do you agree with?
All of it.
I knew he'd say that. Aloha. Say aloha.
Aloha.
Good.
Hi, we're back. This is Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii Digital Series. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, Managing Director of Kuma Kahua Theatre. And we are here talking with Jasmin Please, who is one of the producers of the new play festival, which is coming to Kuma Kahua Theatre as part of our Dark Night series. And the Dark Night series this is a piece that we are not actually producing. We are elated to be able to share our space with a group that needed space for their exciting work. They are bringing to you on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of June, that's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, beginning at 6:30 each night, 9 new plays. Each play will happen all of the 9 nights. We should talk about ticket price. It's $10.
Yep.
$10 to see 9 new plays.
Yep.
That's a little more than $1 a play.
It's good.
That's kind of exciting, right?
It's less than a movie. And it's
Way.
Yeah. And you can buy wine there, as you mentioned before,
can buy
which you cannot
wine.
do at the cinema. But yeah,
At
I
some
think it's a
cinemas.
very good price, and therefore we are urging everyone to buy a ticket and
It's
come.
a fabulous evening. And we'll say really quickly that you can be flexible. Once you buy that one ticket,
Yeah.
it gains you entree to all 3 of the sections, 3 plays in each section, and you can split that up over the 3 nights,
Yeah.
however you like, even though I think 3 hours is not. It does not allow you to come all 3 nights and watch all of the plays over and
No.
over again. You need to pay another $10 to make
That's
that
right.
happen, which is well worth it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you and Alan and Isaac one day said, I know, let's have a new play festival. We don't have a space to do it in, but we want to. How did that come about? Were you drinking then? Were you drinking wine?
No. I actually don't drink alcohol, so.
Oh.
But no, we were stone cold sober. But I don't know, in a elated pirate mood, I guess. And I had a play that I wanted to put on here before, around the summertime, I was thinking. And I talked to Alan about it, and my friend Alvin Chan mentioned to me about the dark nights or the black nights, that that's an option. And I talked with Alan about it, and I said, I don't know anymore. I think I might want to show something shorter or something like that. And he said, why don't, I have a few plays too. Why don't we put something on together like a night of plays? And it evolved hugely from that. It was just that idea of us two putting on a few of our plays as a reading or something. And then Isaac was really excited about this project of creating something new like this. And then after a while, we came up with the idea of opening it up to people. And then when the idea became so big, we thought, well, we need to, solidify the space first. And it was really not until we were in conversation with you that we started really working on it. And
How much time had elapsed there? When did you have that original conversation with Alvin? Do you remember?
Oh, Alvin, it was like a year ago, I think.
Oh.
And it's been on my mind, and I've been writing that play for a while, and I had some other plays, smaller plays, and yeah, so the thought started a while ago, like a year ago, I'd say.
That's
But
a
we didn't-
remarkably short amount of time.
Yeah.
To have a notion and to put together 3 nights of a festival in
Yeah.
which you're premiering 9 new plays.
Yeah, no, it
It's
happened
really
really
something.
fast, and it's thanks to the interest of other people that they submitted, that people are willing to direct, and so many actors here in Hawaii are willing to volunteer their time, which is incredible, and it's a lot of work for an actor. You have to study the play, you have to know it by heart, you have to study the character. There's a lot of physical work involved, and therefore we are doing a profit share, so that the profits that we earn from the tickets, we are going to split evenly with everyone involved in the festival,
Oh,
so that
that's
everyone
nice.
gets a little, I don't know, token.
Parking money.
Yes, parking money. That's what it'll turn into.
Yeah.
But still, I think that's nice, because we're not doing
Yeah.
it for the money, obviously, and it's not,
Right.
it's for fun.
It's for fun, but also it's to, you got to exercise that creative spirit.
Mhm.
And I know, what did I hear, some crazy statistic, like in England, 1 out of every 4 people makes a living as an artist.
Yeah.
It's not that way in the United States. We give our art, I think, we end up giving our art much more often than there. And it's...
Oh, you mean for free?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it happens all the time. And not that the value isn't there.
No.
It is just it's how the market goes. But you have to exercise that creative spirit somehow. If
Mhm.
I said I'm never going to act again unless I get, paid the money, that's how you end up selling your artistic soul sometimes,
Mhm.
which I've done. But
I think we all
came
have
back to it,
done
right?
that, Donna.
Yeah, you say I got to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised at all that
Yeah.
a number of people would come out and say, and particularly when you're doing, a 20-minute play, the level of commitment is smaller, so it's more easy to jump in and say, I'm going to do this. So you can come up. I know that in that corral of actors, you have a lot of talent. You have a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
talent in your actors, directors, and playwrights.
Yeah, we do.
Which is
I'm
pretty
proud
spectacular.
and happy.
You should be.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned when I graduated from acting school in London, is that you have to create work for yourself, and what you want to do isn't often going to come your way. So you have to create that for yourself to be able to play that kind of role that you want to play, because you're not always cast the way you want to be cast. And so that's how I started writing and directing, because I wanted to create something that I wanted to be a part of, rather than just taking anything that I could get.
So after you graduated from acting school, then you decided to start writing because you were seeking roles that weren't written.
I started writing while I was in school, but not seriously until I graduated. I sort of co-founded a company in the school with some peers, and we did some productions when we were at school, and we continued after, because we could do the kind of work we wanted to do, as well as audition for other things and do things that we would have to do to get by.
Yeah. So, okay, so you've had a pioneering spirit for a while to say, it's not the way I want it, so I'm going to figure out how to dig in and do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Congratulations.
It's fun. It's the most fun ever.
And you're making it happen. It would be a hair-raising experience, anywhere on the scale from a hair-raising experience to impossible for many, many, many people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what I'm saying is kudos for making all of this happen.
Yeah. Well,
Very
it's really cool, and Kuma has made it easier for us, definitely.
Kumu is pretty cool too, and it is where the cool kids hang.
Yeah. Well, does that mean I'm a cool kid
Yeah,
now?
absolutely. Absolutely, it has happened. You're there. So, what brought you to Hawaii and when?
Oh, goodness. First time I came here, it was in 2012, and I got an internship at HDY. I helped the people there. I worked with those talented people. I was assistant director to Eric and observed his way of working and the actors' amazing process and a lot of devising that they do, working from scratch, and it was really, really fun. And I randomly met my husband, who was not a part of the theater at all. I met him in town, and after that I moved to LA and I did the groundlings for a while, and I kept visiting Hawaii, visiting my friends here and my husband, and we fell in love, and I decided to come over here and live with him.
So when did you come back then?
Last year, like over a year and a half ago-ish.
Oh.
So I haven't been here that long.
You haven't?
No, I'm a newbie.
You've been pretty busy during that.
Yeah, it took me a while. I couldn't work for like 5 months until I got my green card, so he had to pay our way. And then it took me a while to get work too. It's really hard to get work here because people give their jobs to people they know and not people they don't know. And then I got some teaching work, like drama teaching, and then the ball rolled and I got loads of work. And yeah.
Oh, good.
And now I'm busy with this, so it's good.
Cool. So these fellows, Alan and Isaac, is one of those the husband?
No.
So what's up with these guys then?
I met them at this project that we did that never came through. It was like a walking theater play, sort of a mystery sort of play thing. And we auditioned for it together, and we went through this rehearsal process, and we were like this close for it to happen, and then it flopped. And so we didn't, make any money for all the time we'd spent doing it, but we made friends, and they said, you know what, you should try out for the pirate ship. Alan was like, I am the one who hires the pirates there, and I think you'd do a good job. And so I came over, saw the cruise, and joined the team as an on-call pirate.
Oh.
And we just really clicked really quickly. We had the same opinions on a lot of things, and we're all creative and slightly crazy.
That's very cool. And I like that you're a pirate on the ship and not a wench. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, my pirate name is Crazy Pirate Jenny, and she's crazy, but she's not a wench.
Good. That's nice. There was a day when all female pirates had to be wenches.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've broken free.
Yes. Hello, 2015.
Hello. Okay, well, fabulous. That's
how we met.
Yeah, an interesting path that you've come down. Do you have acting and theater in your family?
No, I'm the only one. Yeah, it was random.
Yeah, and then you ended up being an actor in Hawaii.
That is even more random.
And starting a new play.
It's so far away from where I started.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So what's the next step then? What happens on the 24th of June?
Well, it's the after party.
Oh, well, it is that.
And then I am actually moving to LA.
Oh.
And then I'm coming back to shoot a film here for a little while, and then I'm going back to LA. And then I'm going to go back to the groundlings.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. So this will probably be my final project here, sadly.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, secretly I guess, I hope that maybe it'll happen again next year, and I will come back and be part of it again. That's what I would love for it to happen.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm curious about, you're going back to LA, the husband is...
He's coming with me,
yeah. Okay, well, good. All right, well, good.
We're going around together,
yeah. That's a little tough if you're not. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're going together.
So you're hoping that Alan and Isaac, I have to keep looking here at
yeah,
their names, I'm sorry.
Well, that's cool.
The other pirates will continue.
I do hope that. I hope that maybe, people that get interested this time around might ask, like, oh, well, it's going to happen again. And if they ask, then I think that will plant a seed in us that grows till the next year and makes us want to do it again. That's what I hope. And then hopefully it can get even bigger.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I mean, unless this totally blows up in a bad way, not the good
which it could.
millennial way.
It could.
It could, but that would be exciting too.
That would be kind of, it would be embarrassing, but it could be fun too, to look back at in like 10 years' time.
It's impossible. I find it impossible to even imagine that of these 9 plays,
all of them are terrible.
Right, that's not going to happen. And even if they are terrible, what was the show in LA that Matthew Modine did, and it like tanked? It was really bad. So they started advertising it as, come see this really god-awful show with Matthew Modine, and then it blew up in a good way.
That would be fun.
And
you go in and see, oh, look at that is so bad. They could whisper to each other like, that's terrible, that's so bad. But it's fun, make fun of it. I don't know.
So there's no way it's going to be that bad.
No,
it is artistic expression and exploration and just cruising on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
riding the wave. I mix
Yeah.
my metaphors, but it's.
I have
I'm-
complete faith in that it will be awesome,
I think it's.
no matter how it goes. I don't know. I think so. Because the people are really talented. And I think the people that come, they will be excited and they'll be positive and supportive. And even if some of it is terrible, we'll learn from that. And again, what are we doing? We're doing this for fun. We're doing it for experience. And that's good to grow from that and to create new paths from it, you know,
Right.
create new work for ourselves. And you gotta fail sometimes, but I don't think we will.
I don't think we will. I really don't. I mean, I say that in all jest because I know a lot of the people involved here, and I absolutely believe this is going to be a really exciting night of theater, an exciting 3 nights of theater.
Mhm.
And that's all the time we have.
Cool.
Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that. And let me let everyone know now that it's only $10. You can go to the Facebook page, New Play Festival. It's just New Play Festival. And you can get to Eventbrite through that conduit. We do not, because it is not actually a show produced by Kuma Kahua Theatre, you cannot get your tickets through us in the usual way. But or you can just go to Eventbrite and look up New Play Festival. You can find it that way. And you can also purchase tickets at the door. We will open 1/2 hour before showtime each of those nights. We will open at 6 o'clock on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of June. That is like next week. Okay, now I have to close. Thank you again, Jasmin, for being here. Thank you, Alan and Isaac, for being good pirates, even though we wish we could have met you here. We'll see you at the festival. I would like to thank our studio engineer, Zuri Bender, who is in my ear, Sachi Slomoff, who's our floor manager. She's right over there. Hi, thank you. I would also like to thank Jay Fidel, our producer, who somehow manages to put it all together. And thank you for being here. We will see you back here on Center Stage next week, Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Bye.